You can't help but notice that there's a growing increase of homelessness. And so as a Muslim, we're obligated to help wherever we are. After noticing and hearing about the title of this event, Homeless to Homeowner, I have to come out so that I can be a solution to the problem.
You need to let them know that the greatness of America is how it treats its poor and its less fortunate. Giving is the most important thing, not taking from the society. Avoiding the homeless issue will cost the society and the community more than taking care of them.
Oftentimes when we talk about the homeless, we kind of put it out there. It's kind of distant. These are our neighbors. They have first names, they have families, and really start to understand how complex this issue is. So one of the beauties of declaring a state of emergency at the local level, which I can tell you we just even met with HUD Secretary Castro 2 weeks ago, really sent ripples across the nation, was to say it's time for us as government leaders across jurisdictions to work together. We must coordinate our resources. We must get on the same page about moving from just services to housing being a right, housing being a human right, and not something that's selective for some people who know how to navigate a system and leaving everyone else on their own. This isn't just a government issue. And if we look at government coming in to just solve the problem, we're always going to be stuck. This is a community issue. Our homeless residents are our own family members, our friends, our students. It's great to see, but they're your classmates. It impacts all of us. And so he wants to engage faith-based, but we want to move it from just humanitarian efforts where it's feeding during the holidays or just doing like an emergency night to real true engagement, and there are really ways that we can do it.
One of the major treatment for homelessness is love, compassion. If you can't do one thing, show some love and respect for the homeless guy who is sitting in the corner of the street. Shake his hand.
Too often at mosques, we come, we pray, we do our own things. We have to remember that it's a big world out there. And sometimes I believe that there is too much religion and not enough faith. We are exercising the rituals of faith, but not the faith itself. And we are all serving God. And as service to humanity, we just got to get the things done rather than talking about it and rather than just simply praying about it, Being out there with them, hugging them, and having conversations with them. Every one of our homeless folks have a story to tell.
Because that person went to her car, she may have just lost her job. So it's the eye of compassion, as they were saying, is to have for that person, because just because they went to a car doesn't mean that they're going to a home or to an apartment. So it's real important to understand everybody's situation is different from yours.
If you are giving, in my opinion, don't judge people.
Part of the reason why we have such a bubble and a crisis, among many other reasons, but part of the reasons is we don't look at housing as a right. At some point, too, someone has to stop being called homeless to being called neighbor.
After having attended and watching the film, I really saw the prominence of homelessness and how it's rising, especially in the community, and the necessity for us to take an action and to do something about that. As the youth generation is coming up, we're the ones who can really impact the most.
I will take away the motivation. We have to do something. That we have to do something, and that we're not alone. But together, the problem doesn't look so big. It doesn't look like you can't make a difference.